Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Great War portion of the Delhi Mughal series, in which, well, my god, last year was horrible. 1801 was not a good year for the Allied forces, especially in the Egyptian and Polish fronts. But now there's a real possibility that the Commonwealth will be out of the war. Yes, because of recent defeats and retreats that's happened in the Polish front, as we were referring to the region of Poland here, marked in blue, while there's a big mess over in Carpathia and the northwestern Balkans. So this area has now become endangered. We say endangered as if there was a sense of endangered species, but it's more of a fact of, well, what can you do? Look what happened to the war. It deteriorated over in Europe. And the only logical place for the armies of the Mughals in Europe is to retreat away, as we just left here, and we're about to, go over there. Well, we're currently in retreat now, as we originally ordered them to go to Venezia and hopefully just bypass everybody through this chaos. And then we'll regroup in Venezia, because one of the reasons of why did we lose such a big battle is due to many countries involved, including France, but one of its biggest contributor troops is Florence. We know France has scattered its armies to other continents like North America, but a good portion of forces are in Europe. But the ones who are also big contributors is the Grand Republic of Florence and the Merchant Republic of Genoa. These two provide a large amount of manpower in the European front. Bane is also another one, a Grand Duchy of it. Those are the other ones that provide a large amount of troops for whatever reason, as the Venetian armies are engaging over there. But however, defensive, offensive, they have their own traditions. Doesn't say anything about combat other than the ideas that they picked out. And they have quantity, hence the reason why they got a larger army than most of the Grand Duchies. While on the naval front in the Mediterranean, it's pretty good. We defeated the Ottoman Navy time and time again as they're losing their heavy ships, but if we sink more heavy ships, it'll open up to start sinking their war galleys, which, yes, they function well in the Mediterranean, but this is not the age of the galley. This is the age of sail, especially with the two-decker ships. No, excuse me, three-decker ships. Well, and also we advanced into Syria lately, but now due to the deteriorating situation over in the Eastern Europe subcontinent of what's going on out there, we're going to be forced to advance to open up Anatolia. We have to make a swift advance. Throughout spring and summer, we will advance through Anatolia and eventually reach the goal, the city of world's desire, Constantinople. Still unaffected by war, but soon it'll be affected. And also, as for some of our Mughal armies that are retreating from the Egyptian front as they've been defeated there, they will be reinforced by Mongolian and Japanese armies nearby, as we ordered them to link up with those particular armies bound to return to the Egyptian front. We're not giving up on Egypt. We want the control of this so we can build a Suez Canal for ourselves, which is for future peace term plans. I don't want Constantinople for myself. If I had my druthers, and if the Commonwealth remained in the war, I'd give Constantinople to the Commonwealth. I'd give it to them. And the only territorial gains I want from the Ottomans is just these two. And the rest of them should be, well, returned to course to whomever that they took it away from. That's my future peace plans. Although there'll be more reinforcements on their way, and all of them needed. Long range march, even though a good portion of which won't even be there until a year. So, as stated before, and that is my strategy for the year of 1802. Armies are to begin the Anatolian offensive. Knock down these 3 forts, which are all old castles that they've never upgraded. Even its capital, they don't even have that either, so it's easy to take. We just need to make a dash for it. And defeat their navy, begin the blockade of Syria. Although this may attract the European armies to come that way. So, come hell or high water, we will hold our ground here and overcome all odds. While at the same time, those other Ottoman armies that are not linked up with the others, destroy them in Egypt, while occupied throughout the coast and further inland, so they won't get a chance at try to restore their territorials that we've occupied. And we have to accept the fact that the Commonwealth will soon no longer be part of the war, because as we sort it by war enthusiasm, the Commonwealth's got too many besieged and occupied provinces, and they're under strength compared to everybody else in the world. While on the other side, because of the relative strength of alliances, because we did a fairly good job at killing some of them, but this revolutionary Holland is likely going to be the next country to be backed out of this war. As we freed up the diplomats, including one from Kilwa, as they're clearly not coming to this war, so we're on our own on the Egyptian front. Colonies do not count on the war enthusiasm, because that's under Great Britain's behest. Japan is under strength. Britain slightly, but they're having... well, they commit most of their fighting in the North American front, keeping the French armies who are stationed over there at bay, which is good. I don't view Great Britain as useless at all. They're just doing a good job. Try to kill off some of the French manpower over in North America. And the rest of us are okay, including those unaffected by war on their home front. And as for us, well, despite what we've been through, there is no sense of war exhaustion. There is very little, but it goes away fairly quickly. There are some of the Ottomans, but very high for the Papal States. It's just Florence needs to be knocked out of that war. Them and Genoa. France isn't going anywhere. So, as we know, we have suffered a lot. So did the Commonwealth. And Great Britain too. And even Venice was starting to take a lashing. We lost a lot of ships, mostly British ships. God. And as for the enemy, obviously, it's starting to get to that point, and it's going to be likely in this year or in the next year, we're going to see 1 million enemy casualties, mostly Ottoman losses. A great portion of them French, and Florence as well, as they've suffered a lot too. So that's why I think it would be of utmost importance to knock Florence out of the war. They're one of the biggest contributors of manpower in the European front, in the European theater, I should say. If you're referring to subcontinent, that would be theater. Region would be front. If if you want to keep consistent on your geographical terminology in warfare. And most of the ship losses belong to the Ottomans, with some and a couple more French and Genoa. Right. So let me tell you something. Those past battles over these past few years, in places like Shutar, it was slaughter. The third battle, Shutar, was slaughter. And what happened up in Poland, and battles like Krakow and Soudomierz, it was premeditated murder. That's all I gotta say about that. It was premeditated murder. And now we're gonna try to retreat into Venetian territory, where we'll be guaranteed safety, and to use that as a launching point to get those fortresses of Florence down. We have to bring everybody. And I might even consider replacing generals to transfer them. Ones who are most skilled in combat, and the one who's the best at siege. Oh, fortunately, we already do have a man who's best at siege. Shah Alam Rahidun. He'll be of good use to get to Florence. Again, we did a very good job of killing off most of their manpower, which is going to take a while to recover all of their losses when we fought against them. So, Mantova and Firenze are to be the objectives to take. But interestingly, Rome, which is just as important as Firenze, also affects that province war score. That's because it's the home of a great project, St. Peter's Basilica, which is currently inactive right now because it's Protestant, not Catholic. And Papal States resides over there. And there. And I've noticed that Papal States have a lower in war enthusiasm because that's due to the blockades. And if we were to put our navy there to blockade them, maybe we can convince the papacy, even though they do not contribute very much, to surrender, to tell them to leave the war. So that's for starters. But as you can see in a diplomatic map mode of who remains, again, Asia, Central Asia, clear. But not in the Middle East and Anatolia, and certainly not in Europe. We still got a lot of work to do. Commonwealth is expected to exit the war. Whatever territorial changes that may be, it's likely a good portion of these gains might go to the Ottomans, as they do have permanent claims there. In fact, it'll be their mistake to try to take Balkan territory. Not saying of who owns what, but it's more of just holding it and try to core them, and whatever national unrest we can incite. Which might as well do that, even though it's not going to contribute much. Rebuild that spy now. Start building it up again. So, spy network will be built up for this year, and we'll try to mess with them by any means. What if it's so in discontent? But, infiltrate administration for later. Corrupting officials didn't work. Sabotage military recruitment. And since we're definitely worried about the French, maybe you should do the same for them if they don't have espionage. Oh, they do have espionage ideas. That means it's going to be easier for them to detect spies. Well, crud. Here's another reason why the French fought so well. Besides, it's under a golden era. And, defensive ideas they also took. Elan and all that. French discipline as well. It's because that emperor over there has an inspiring leader. So the French are fighting at their very best of this generation. Right. And finally, on the naval front, we're keeping the French Navy at bay, but however, they are not as strong as we thought they were. And due to the fear, we thought they had an army that they're transporting, but we found out there's no army on board. And we've sent out a transport fleet just right now. And there's an Australian fleet out on patrol. So we must guarantee the safety of it. As we will be heading to the coast of Morocco and then return back. To guarantee the safety of the transport fleet, as they will be transferred across to the Mediterranean to be stationed in Tunis, revolutionary Tunis. And so they'll be under the protection of this naval fleet. And the purpose of them is to transport any few armies to be sent to Europe if they are in need of support. That's the main reason for it. And also minor actions out there. But fortunately, I'm not just losing because that's just transport ships. And a smaller Ottoman fleet out there. If they go to Japanese sea zone, then that's going to be their mistake. Same for the Koreans and Vietnamese, which are just protecting their coasts. That's all. Now, look here, ladies and gentlemen. As we know, the enemy is everywhere, but we will make an advance towards Anatolia, and by God, they're coming with us. It's a wonder how, when we started this year, we chanted slogans like Hindustan Zindabad, Jai Hind, and all that, but what is this left out? Over 2 million dead. And possibly may reach the 3 million after the end of this year. Now look, none of us mind the risk for the lives of the Mughal soldiers in all fronts. It's just the stupidity and the bloody waste in other areas. Like what Diviet is about to get themselves into. I mean, the Mongols are already out of there. On that area. Well, what happened in Egypt wasn't waste. It was just bad luck. We had a very good general. It's just we had a string of bad luck, that's all. But again, if you're looking for someone to counter French firepower the next time fight against them, perhaps we should transfer Khan Baksh Shahabuddin to Europe. And Chid Timur Sihan should be going to Anatolia. But not right now because they're in retreat, so we can't transfer them right now, as they're in hostile territory. But we'll soon be reaching friendly territory soon. There's the Highlands. It's just I'm baffled that the Commonwealth did not improve their defenses. And as for our Navy, well, we know they went that way. And I wish we had a transport fleet already there, but no. Because fighting in the mountains of Zeta would be grand to make a stand. But we don't have that luxury now, do we? Instead, we're going to try to get our way out of here. Link up with the Venetian army. And then we'll head down to Florence and try to knock them out of the wall. It's the best we can do for the Mughal soldiers in Europe and all that. And the Navy will continue to play their role. But maybe we should blockade the Papal States to tell them to get them out of the war. Convince them to surrender. As we have 2 diplomats open, while a couple more will return later this spring. But we have to begin our advance now. So, what's it gonna be? In fact, here's gonna go. These 2 armies are to head to take this area. You'll follow. And the 5th, 6th Army will be heading to Ankara. Babu and that will be heading to Sinop. Yes, we're spreading ourselves thin out there a little bit, but I wouldn't worry too much. But in case they need backup, distribute these forces evenly And you will cover our backside. Right, these two armies that hasn't been ordered to move. Well, depending on how it looks, then just stand out there. Right, you guys. So again, it's 5 armies who were at the Egyptian front, they remain. And as for the other 2 out there, whoa, hold on there. This way, come on. It's just we gotta link up with the Mongols and the Japanese, and then we'll return back down to Egypt. I'm not giving up on the Egyptian front. But we're making advances to Anatolia now, as the Ottomans have decided to commit themselves northwards, because we scared them off into going this way. So we'll just have to make a big push. And if it goes well, we should reach Constantinople by summer. As long as we keep the fleet at their bay. But until we are that close, we will transfer the fleet to the Sea of Marmara. For now, blockade the Papal State. Try to blockade them, lower their war enthusiasm via war exhaustion, and then they'll be out of the war. Because we're only willing to negotiate countries with low war enthusiasm, meaning they want to leave, and we'll give them as such. We'll probably do the same for Florence, as we'll be blockading a part of their territory. Same ways as the Venetians are doing. Ready? Let's go. It's a no laughing matter now. Only 35 days it fell. They've retaken their territory. Again, the only way to win this war is to take Constantinople. And you'll get a lot of war score for this. So we're not giving up. 1802 will be the year of the turning point. And of course, small battles will be taking place. As they're just going to be out of our way. How are you feeling, huh? Just let the war exhaustion increase. Break their will to fight. They got nothing to gain economically now. And we're doing the same to Florence with their blockade. But it's not going to do much. Oh God, what are you doing stuck out here? Get out of there. We're going to get killed out here. But the Venetians are holding, so they're going to give us safe passage. They are our best hope. You are ordered to regroup at Venezia. I am assigning Kambakhsh Shahibuddin for this, as he's assigned in the 18th Army. He hasn't left friendly territory yet, so there is time. But Kambakhsh Shahibuddin, he's a bit underwhelming, but it's the shock and the fire. We gotta... Can't win both ways, but every little bit helps. You take over the Rajputs. We're just going to evenly distribute it, not only for attrition reasons, but it's also try to attract some of them over here so we could kill them out there. As we know that Anatolia is a really mountainous country. with some dry lands in the center. So you boys need to recover. Recover your losses. Let the Mongols and Japanese go with you. And then you gotta capture and hold these two territories for the Suez Canal. And taking a couple more of their fortresses will add more towards the war score. So the morale broke. They fought well. They will cover our retreat. You didn't even have infantry. These are all artillery. And Battle Sopron here, it's all grasslands, so the armies of Mughals, Milan, just decided to charge at them. They go straight into artillery, and they barely held. How many grape shot canisters would they just fire at this many before they realize, oh, we gotta pull back? What the hell are we doing? Well, we're gonna try to retreat and get Venezia, and then we'll be alright. So we found out there are 2 French armies, and now there's 1 currently being fought out there, but look at yourselves. You can't best the French. They have a fervent focus on war because they got it in some event. And army tradition is at its highest. Inspiringly, they're military drilled, so it's a very well drilled army. In fact, it's probably their best army of the entire French army. I can't guarantee it. They're killing them, but well, what good did that do? That was all their artillery. And now here they come, bringing more artillery and a lot of infantry. One's an army led by the Ottoman ruler himself, and as well as the Novgorod Company, mercenaries. Mongols and Daviets are in stand too. But they'll be coming in with massive numbers. Doubt that they can best them. And we have to accept the fact that Warsaw will fall. Or we will try to snake our way out of there, and hopefully the French doesn't catch us out here. Because if there is, that's the end of our participation because of very low morale. I mean, they're not on forced march, but it's gonna take a while to get us out of there. They're both in retreat. I don't know, Australia's in retreat. Okay, never mind then. Disregard. Turn around. The French are at it again. They're at it. They're out on patrol. Their safety is guaranteed, so. Just to try to increase their war exhaustion due to blockades. You know, they don't have much of a coast, quite honestly, so it adds very little effect. March 6th, checking them out. Oh, hell. They get a river crossing penalty in its mountains. It's not a good place to be fighting out here. No, it's just... they changed their mind. Come on, catch up. You don't want to get caught out there. Maneuver 3, maneuver 5, so... They'll move faster than you will ever be. Lorraine forces. They're not a military traditional country, but they picked offensive, defensive, quality ideas. Of course they do. But then, and Lorraine is another big provider of manpower. If the Commonwealth could stay for another 30 days, get Holland out of that war. Break away. It's time to beat him up again. Come on, stay back. They're retaking those areas. My god, they are chasing us. Huh. Maneuverability's 4. My god, we're being chased by Frenchmen. I don't care what our morale looks like. If you're in that territory, if you're in friendly territory, forced march. Dortmund is coming up. It's farmless. It's not a good place to fight here. Come on. Get out of there. Come on. Move. Those that are left behind will cover our retreat. Got it. And once you're in the next territory by the 21st, get your running boots on. You got a force march. So that way you will recover your morale once you're in base, because there is a fort in Trevesto. Fortress. Definite strategic position. In fact, they got more strategic positions, especially up here in Alta Carenzia. That area there. That's where we'll make a stand. Very good place. Loss visual. We're actively gonna look for them, but I fear they may go after the Vietnamese fleet. So we know at least 50,000 of the French are in North America. So that's... What? They broke away from Zeta. What the hell? But they wish to take Spoleto. And it's all Florentine forces from there. We made Dortmund turn away. So yes, the big bad angry Frenchmen are coming after us. Barthélemy de Broglie is their best general of the entire French military, master of arms, which means their infantry fights very well. And since the French have quality ideas, in addition to offensive, which we do have both, so... They do have the discipline, and since we have quality ideas, so... That's plus 20 infantry combat ability for the French. So we have the discipline too. So meaning their infantry combat ability is the same as ours. But the 6-fire versus the one that we just transferred for, again, he's the best out of all of us, but it's just I wasn't confident enough because we need someone who's just as almost as good as fire and shock on certain modes. Plus, Shah Alam's your siege guy. Your siege master. We're on our way to deal with the Genoese and Ottoman fleet. Don't use the breach. Save it for Constantinople and those mighty fortresses of Florence. Commonwealth is not worth saving anymore. But we really put the hurt on the war enthusiasm, but they're not yet quite out yet. As we decide to break from the blockade and go into it to another large naval battle. So again, safety of the transport fleet's guaranteed. So they'll be all right when they reach Tunis, and we'll transfer to them whichever army that is needed the most in order to relieve. Yes, we know. You arrive at the 19th. Wait. 21st, okay? So we'll be there on the 21st. They're gonna be far behind us. Just get your running boots on, boys. Just arrived in the scene, and they just left. They knew we were coming. Just can't defeat them on our own terms. While the Anatolian offensive continues. Just be glad that the castle and mountains of Zeta has not fallen, in case we need to use that transfer fleet to transfer them to Qatar, or furtherly from there. And, heck, it would be ideal if we were to come and take parts of Albania as well. It's another good place to make a stand. Any high ground is a good place to make a stand. of March. While the French are still in our tails. What's going on? Oh, small Ottoman force. They're here to block us. Stop. Stop. Force march now. We can't stop here. Let's go. They're not going to actually come over. They're going to realize it's like, hey, stop moving. Large body of troops. Don't engage. Come on, we just got to get through the woods. And then through the mountain pass. And then we'll rest up here. And probably build a supply depot here, since this area's got good supplies. Venezia. It's a very good place. Like it here. And they'll cover our retreat as well. The great Mughal retreat from Poland is going to be a great success. And if the French dare to attempt to take the mountains, we'll fight them back here. Along with Venetian help, if they're willing. So, well done on the retreat. We sighted the French fleet. They're heading over there. Thanks to the coast of Maldives. Now we know where they are. Just as suspected. $85,000 to fully reinforce. My God. Get back to where you were. Get the papacy out of the war. Okay, they've stopped. I'm sure they'll change direction since we're getting away from them now. Nope, they're still following us. Crud, come on. Move up. Lost sight of them. Yeah, they may have to turn their attention to Venice. So remember, Alta Carenzia. This is the place to hold them. It's like, this is where we hold them. This is where they die. Come on. We really like the where are we? Yeah, I do have some siege skills. It's just enough to compliment ourselves. Mongols decide to go for Arabia just to take a few other areas. 94,000 in the Royal Watch. Wait a minute, this area is mountains. Take El Krak. That is a good choke point. In fact, this is a mountain range. In case they do come after us, they're gonna have to fight up here. We gotta force them there. Who is our siege man? Islam Shah Chagatai? Yes, Islam Shah Chagatai. He's your siege guy. He's your go-to. Oh, not again. Get back! They're back in action again. So, this retreat is a success, so no need to be concerned for them now. So, we'll check them out later. Now it looks like all the forces of the British colonies in North America have decided to contribute to this. Even though the French army are going to still fight to the death, but I don't think they're going to reinforce that much. Right. So there's going to be 100,000 of them remaining in Egypt. But we have to take these two mountain fortresses, and if they any attempt to try to come back up here, well, they're gonna have to get up there. We gotta lure them over here, then we'll kill them. While we begin the sieges of these areas, spring Anatolian offensive. Shaking my head. What got you your courage back? I mean, you're about to lose the capital. The war score is gonna go to the Ottomans, as you could say. And the Ottomans will have negotiations with a separate peace with Commonwealth, and they'll be out of the war. So don't worry about what's going on right now. We have our moves prepared. So 4, 3. We're engaging the Ottoman Navy out there. Reinforcements are to arrive soon. 2, 1. Holland is out. At the behest of the Commonwealth, whose war enthusiasm is now low again. They pillaged. They will lose their revolutionary zeal. You got it. Thank you, Commonwealth, for your sacrifice. And then they're about to lose their capital then. There they are. They are engaging with the Vietnamese fleet. Whichever fastest way is more convenient for you. You got no admiral. But that's all transport. God blast it. Why can't you come up with a better composition than this? But they're nearby, and they are heading westward. So we do know that all of the Florentine forces are out of there, and they left themselves wide open. I mean, in theory, you can go straight to the capital. Oh no, rest up in Venice first. You need to let your morale recover. Wait, what's that? Oh, they're just out on patrol. Little nuisance. Little nosy Parkers. Anyways, back to this big naval battle, which the morale is low, and we'll start to get some. Well done. You got plenty of siege skill. Glad we put you on this assignment here. But we're not drawing their attention. Nor have they ever gotten attention to the old front line. Sinking a bunch of ships. They lost their heavy ships, so now we're most of their heavy ships. So now we're just blowing the heck out of their galleys. And we captured one transport, as if we need one. But they're in the need of repairs, so we can't go fight anymore. So, suggest that you head to Cattaro, rest up a bit. There's no other friendly ports out there nearby, other than the coastal areas we just captured there, which is... Anyway, how many sea zones? Aegean... Actually, this way's closer. Is there a shipyard? Grand Shipyard, yes. Okay, we'll go there instead. Back to our friendly territory. Now that we have it captured, and we can repair. And after we make those repairs, we gotta, well, save the transport fleet from possible annihilation with that Grand Armada still out there. And they got no chance at all of holding them off. So we're coming in, even though it's gonna cost us quite a bit. We're not advancing further in yet, because we don't want to get too separated, because of those other armies are still out there. So rest up in Venice. Want you to be back in action in July. Begin your offensive towards Florence in July. Got it? You stay there until all the other fortresses have fallen. Fortifications, you know what I mean. Hey, get up there. They could use a little more assistance. We don't need to breach their walls yet. You're on the island of Naxabara. While we rest up there. But if I see them leave their port, we're going. Unfortunately, we're not attracting their attention Perhaps some, but we can't guarantee everything. We're just trying to keep the morale up. And there's just a bunch of Vietnamese ships are starting to lose it, but... Okay, we won this one because, well, they got a place to retreat to now. So we saved the Vietnamese fleet and British ships are nearby. Suggest you make repairs here in Bitan, which we got a grand shipyard here. Actually, you can land in British ports if they got a grand shipyard. There it is. Okay, go to here then. We got our eye on you. What the hell are these guys doing? Are they stupid? They're not. Where are you going? Padova? Probably to reclaim territory, but don't rush it. But there's French. They've been following us after all this time. Balkans is hopeless, and so is Carpathia. Apparently they did not take Spoleto. They transferred. Commonwealth and Venetian ships together. Mostly Venetian. They will soon fall. Back away. Try not to give up hope yet. They may be recruiting newer regiments as they are an army and infinite, of course, but obviously. About 105. And they're gonna try to retake some of their territories. Their war enthusiasm is low, but that's early. I don't know what's going on with the Commonwealth, but oh, that's due to ongoing battles. What ongoing battle? They're actually going to strike back. Maybe they're going to try to save Warsaw out of desperation, knowing that there's French still out there. And many more nearby reinforcements, so I think it's more of an act of desperation than anything. And it appears that they may retake this area. And they hired free company. You're not in debt, are you? I gave you a lot of money for you to hire mercenaries to make up for your losses of professional troops. So they're not out of the game yet. But I am not advancing until the other two fortifications are taken as well. But we're trying to lure them over here to give them a false sense of security, then we'll devastate them in the high ground, where they must be forced to fight here. The war can only be won in the West. Actually, you should go over there. Or to there. I think 8th and 14th Army are the ones that are going to be sent to Europe to assist them and relieve them. Because they've been through hell and back. And we had to assign new generals to there. So Commonwealth is not ready to quit yet, but we're going to try to make Florence quit by launching a separate offensive. If your morale will recover. What's this? Fully offensive, yes. Fully offensive. I don't even think about that. We still have our cavalry combat ability until the next year, and then we'll lose this good cavalry combat ability that we've had for so long. Affects only Rajput regiments. If only we had sent Rajputs to Europe, maybe they can stand up against the French. But no, we're already committed to the Anatolian offense until these two garrisons surrender. And this one will take Sugla, and then we'll be heading to them, and then we'll soon reach Constantinople, and we will fall easily. And this will bring all the European armies' attention towards here. They could try to retake the homeland, but we're only delaying them. And taking them out fortress to try to force them to come over here, and so we can kill them on the high ground. This is all high ground. We gotta get them to where they cannot refuse to fight. Japanese fleet still in retreat. Come on. Largely a resting period here. The only major action right now is up there. But they took a river crossing. No, not a river crossing. They're fighting in the woods. So bringing Genoese reinforcements. Which they have just arrived, and looks like it's going to go their way again. Not until 2 years. But they did successfully retake Podole. I mean, that's a bit of good news, but things are not going to go their way once again until they get back together. And if the Mongols are willing to assist the Commonwealth, just to keep them alive at least. But we've stated before, your offensive towards Florence, as it appears there's no troops over there, because they've sent them all that way. And if there's French army in the mountains, well then that's going to be up to them. Unless it'll be up to us. And they just left Spoleto again. Update. Water shortage. Have not surrendered. I think they're going to try to retake those areas. Yep, Commonwealth retreated. Of course. Okay. Is Warsaw gonna surrender? Because they have very little garrison left. Yep, they just did. They're out of the war. So, the Commonwealth has accepted peace with the Ottomans, so that means their capital did fall, or just before it fell. I didn't say. So, they will cede Branichivo, Niš, Nikopol, and Plovdiv to the Ottomans. So that's Balkan territories that the Commonwealth had. So we've lost our big ally. And that's going to make our jobs even more difficult. Now, Venice, I mean, obviously you can't come back to the wars you just lost. But hey, you fought well. We give you credit. So, I have an applause. So, now they're going to put their focus towards Venice and to us. So this changes everything. And obviously that reduces the number of total casualties. But we do know it's over 2 million. But we must not stop. I told you this year would be a turning point. We have to go now. We gotta go. Back us up. We're only leaving some of you behind. For you to hold the high ground. Japan has annexed Korea. Well, that gave them a little more. I mean, they will also inherit the Korean armies wherever they were. So now they're all Japanese. Very well. So, to make up to losing our big ally here with dismantled soldiers, we're gonna have to take out their big ally in Florence. You know what? Don't force march. Just slowly make your way to Florence. Because as you move, you can recover your morale while you're on the move, correct? Yes. So let's begin the offensive now. Mountain forces will keep us busy while we will try to work on taking this by throwing all of our manpower there. Straight at Gibraltar. They're fine. I think it would be wise for you to make a stand here in these mountains. There's a river there, and if they try to advance this way... So, Marash and Kant. So this is where you make a stand. So you're going to be the man of the job. You have the highest amount of fire out of all of the generals here, and you're a glory seeker. Your objective is to hold these mountains here. Keep them away from there. There's a difference between mountains and highlands. In highlands, dice roll attack is -1. Mountains, -2. So we have to go to Constantinople now. The growth of the Khoi textile industry. Through the use of modern machinery and working methods, the local weaving business of Khoi has grown to a much more large-scale business. Whereas only a simple fabric was exported there, now a thriving cloth production sector, greatly helping the local economy. However, not everyone is happy about this development, and the artisans of Shorkot petitioned the Mughal authorities to crack down on these low-quality products that they believe to be flooding the market. Time waits for no man. Yeah, that's right. Time waits for no man indeed, because now that the Commonwealth's out of the war, they're going to put their focus on Venice, and we got to get rid of Florence out of the war. Well, you are besieging them, so you've scared them into submission, so... With the Commonwealth now out, well, so is the Papal States. What do you... White peace out because we never fired you in anger. Unless you want to ask Venice something, but I can't ask them. Perhaps money? No. Again, we never fought the Papal States directly unless we blockaded them, but... No. No. So you... Come on, let's get a move on. $101. I'm sure they'll commit to the defense here. But yes, I would stop short of going there. They just stopped it. But that'll be up to the Navy. Oh, fraud. Japanese are coming. Maybe not. Get us out of here. Got blasted. Thought there weren't going to be any French out there. There's also a Genoese fleet out there that needs to be stopped. What the hell are you doing? Come on, advance. Move up. We've delayed them long enough, so just try to take this area. You know, this is Jerusalem itself. Go ahead and take it. I know it's just dry islands, but it's noted for the war effort. We're still on our way. Don't stop here, get up there. Again, they got a few more obstacles if Venice were to be out of the war. It's only 49%. The walls need to be breached now. So we got our best siege man of the job here. Yes, from later siege. Siege and artillery. And we're gonna bring even more guns over here. We're gonna break them. Break their will to fight. Caught the Genoese fleet out there. But our transports are losing it. Get out of there. Lost 15 of them. Avenge them. They got caught on a bad day. Oh, it's that area over there. No need to worry about that. Access is denied. But at least we'll block them if they try to come in the straits. Big mistake. July 9th. See what our percentage is. 0. So it should be about a month or two. A month or two, this capital will fall. More so if we can bring a navy to avenge the transport fleet, as they will have to be making repairs here, but this is not a good place for it. There's no shipyard here. Heck, even that area's got a dry dock, but not a shipyard. That's different. That's for sailors. Let me guess, not good. Only said that because of what's going on down there and the positioning. Okay, all we need to do is again. Oh. French army out there. Although this is hills, but it's their hills, so this needs to be taken down fast. Assaulting would be suicide. Again, you need to wait because transports have been attacked. In fact, we still have a couple of transports. I think we can lend them for you. Since you just lost a couple, we can lend in a few transports to you, including the ones we captured, to make up for it. It's a good deal. Okay, so there is a chance to take the capital, but we don't know about that because French forces are approaching. Some of them haven't moved out yet, but I'm sure they will in future. This one's an old castle, but that one's a fortress. You got 78,000 there. So our priority now is to prevent Venice from collapsing. If Venice collapses, we have no reason to be in Europe anymore, then we have to concentrate all our forces in Anatolia, and when we take Constantinople, then we will have to hold it until we get a favorable peace deal, because the only territorial interests that I wanted, as said before, is just these two only. No more than that. After the Commonwealth out of the war, can't give it away. Well then. Now the Ottomans are behind us. And we're waiting for this area to fall, then we'll take another fortress, as we've delayed them long enough. Because it's only a matter of time before the Egyptian Sinai front, Palestine front, before it fires up again. And we will take Jerusalem, which that'll definitely hurt their war score a little bit, unless you want it. Hang on. How many of you got transports? Be just sent over there. These transports need to get together. They're to go pick up these two armies, which they will be sent to there. As Ravenna will be retaken shortly. And now the huge French armies come this way, and possibly more reinforcements behind, as they're going to put their focus to there now. Which I'm definitely afraid that this was to happen. Sinop taken. Be right behind you. Every little bit helps when it comes to carpet sieging. Going to various directions. And they're not force marching, so there's still time. I hope there will be such time that we can get Florence out of the war. French are not going that way. They're going up against. Taking a long way around, I see. Unless they have a sinister plot where they're going to get together and invade England. Well, they have to go through them first. Alright, turn around. Back to Gulf Cyprus. Land there. Alright, we've taken this area. Okay, Sinai. It's highlands, there's mountains, so we gotta hold the high ground. They're retreating out of here. This is gonna take all of you guys in a combined team effort. God knows where they are going now. Unless they're dealing with revolutionaries. Maybe that's what's going on. No, there's no sieges nearby. We have not faced a single major battle this year, which is rather good. Trying to keep the casualties to a minimum. Supply shortage, damn. It's gonna take a little while longer. But if we were to defeat the French and just them alone, we could definitely kill their manpower. While the British will continue to fight against them time after time and try to kill their manpower just to slow them down a little. Because they seem to back them against the wall there. Wait a minute. 40,000 plus 33,000, that's 73,000. That's 100,000 of theirs. Over 100,000 of French in North America. Well, 100,000 more. So I see. And there's one more army out there. They're heading this way, likely. I think luring them over to the Straits sounds like a good idea. But I really need to send some over to Europe to help them take Florence out of the game. And Augsburg too. Who could forget Lorraine? $110 versus, you know, all that out there. Or we're trying to take the high ground. While having the possibility to try to lure them over here. And whatever Lana is doing, I think they're just trying to go that way occupied. While they, it's like, okay, occupy this. And then I think they're going to go circle around Lake Van. I think that's what they're trying to do. Whatever you are doing, keep doing it. And of course, be sure to occupy Genoa as well. Get them out of the war because they have a bit of a medium war enthusiasm as well. Because they're not as strong as they used to be back at the start. So occupy this, then occupy Genoa. In fact, it's not even a fortress, it's an old star fort. And bring our fleet out there to blockade them to further help with the siege chances for it to fall, then we can get Genoa out of there. This is where it's coming to that point now. Armata de Salona. 20,000 strong. Naples. So Naples is sympathetic towards Venice, so that's why they improve relations. I mean, yeah, they used to be friends, well, when the Papal States were at war, and they're subsidizing, paying into them. But they liked the Commonwealth, and they liked Venice, so they're more than happy to do so. I like you. Willing to help them out. Oh, they're there to kill the peasant revolt there. That'll slow them down. Here's what you're gonna do. Just go around. Get ready to depart. We need 3 armies, 3 volunteers. The rest of you stay back, in case you need to fight against them. Because they don't seem to be committed to go down this way. Didn't even bother taking traps on. And they have not attacked our old defensive line. War enthusiasm medium. Take Firenze. It's not going to be enough, but this is just our best chance to get them out of the war. About to fight against them, but it's mainly transfer. What are you doing? Hey, you still out there? Yeah, they are. Just keep tabs. Okay, they split up. Who knows what they're up to? They're not involved in any other conflict. If by some miracle they surrender. Supply soldiers again. Damn it! It's gonna take longer and it's gonna give them more. Because there's more coming the longer it takes. They'll be arriving shortly. Now, Karak still held stubbornly. Wait tomorrow. Alright, get on board. They're going to be sent to Europe. Alright, what's the composition? Very good. Okay. We need a volunteer. We need a fleet that can help them guide them. To provide escort. I mean, you're the best out of all of us, and you can move it the fastest. So, Romeo Jahan, you'll be the one. That one will be out of command. You're on board, right? Okay, so here's your plan. You gotta give them safe passage towards Ravenna. So that we're only transferring these 3 to Europe, and that's that. I will not commit any more troops to them. You all have to hold the line. No matter what happens. Actually, this is much more strategic. Hey, move this way. This place is much more defendable. This one's much more strategic. this way. Single ship action, but freight frigate versus transport. I think we know who wins out here, but okay, we have the high ground. Move up. Might as well take Tabuk as well. Islam Shah, move up. Things are going to get ugly up there. Unless they are in some sick way that they're going to go around there and they're going to flank us, which sounds like it'll take a year or two to get there. But again, we have endless flow of reinforcements coming from Asia. While the British will keep them busy in North America, killing off French manpower out there. No matter what happens. British armies. British Mexican army. Armies of Newfoundland and British Columbia. And God knows where the 13 colonies armies are other than... Oh yes, they're taking this little garrison. That's French territory. Home of the gold mine. Take away their source of gold. That's where they get their money from to finance such a deadly conflict. But I think they realize what we're up to now. Don't forget about these guys up here. We'll have to deal with them eventually. Well, now they're going to shift their focus back to Spoleto again. Alright, reinforcements have arrived. Help them out with the siege. Here comes more guns. Unless they surrender. 4, 3, 2, 1. Surrender, damn you. Oh, they did. The 97 days. Now they're feeling it. Took their capital and all that. The war enthusiasm is low. Because they got trouble. And they took another one of their fortresses, so we can't let Venice quit now. They haven't taken their capital. See to if you can begin negotiations with Florence. Despite everything we've been through. Okay, this is what I like to hear. Though you're not going to give any territories that Venice has claims to. Do they? There is a permanent claim on that. So Florence lost 148,000 and they lost how many ships? 27. I think their war is over. Again, we lost the Commonwealth and they're about to lose Florence. Take every chance you get, alright? No more screwing around. And Tuscany will be pillaged and it'll be for us. No territories will be given to Venice, unfortunately. But they don't seem to mind. Genoa, you're next. And our 3 new armies that just arrived in Europe hasn't even... Well then. Good one. That'll give them their hopes up. Starting to feel the pressure now. To Genoa. Take their capital. It's an old star fort. And also we will send a navy to blockade them. And then eventually we'll deal with the Ottomans. So, road to Constantinople has been closed, but we will remain in our positions. But for now, head to there. Throw everyone you've got over there. Would to God. Hope that Venice will feel better for this. Take Gaza. Need to draw them over here. Go help them. Okay. Yep, they're in our front lines now. Just this one army there. If they disturb any of our mountain fortresses, we will go after them. And Kambak Shabudu will lead the charge to fight them off. They stand in our way. Again, they don't have heavy ships anymore. Now they're just galleys, and we'll definitely sink a bunch of them. Thanks to our big guns. 14% Genoa. Hell of a job. Don't stop. Come on, Venice, old buddy. Don't let me down. And no doubt this is going to exceed 1 million casualties for Allies again. But we know it's more than that since the Commonwealth's out of the war. Just need their navy over here fast. They delayed us again. Capture one ship. No stopping. Now what? Okay, you've convinced me. Coming after you. We're getting exposed here. Need to get Genoa out of the war. Their war enthusiasm is medium. Taking their capital will hurt it further. Here they come. As soon as we defeat any of their fleets that are out at sea, then we will contribute to the siege. Defenders desert now. 35 added. Should take one more day. Alright, they defeat him out there. It's just these mercenaries stand guard. You're not in debt, are you? No, good. If need be. And it's gonna take a while for the Sparta fortress to fall. We gotta scare them or box them in. Do whatever you can. Scare them into going up this way. Move it. All we need is another month. So that way the Italian front will be closed on this sector. Genoa is another big country that provides a lot of manpower. What's the percentage of spy network? You're with us. I think they're all going to Europe. Ever since we've closed them off. They're gone. In that case, you three. Head to them. We'll be assisted by Mongolia and Diviet. So next year, Constantinople, even though it's right in our sights. Yes, get them out of their comfort zone. So, crossing. Elam is not one of them. Hold here. When they go this way, head to them. So they will arrive on the 21st. Lead on the 12th. No, let them go. Let them go. Wait for the others. God blast it! It's gonna need another month. Where are the French? Where are they going? I originally feared they were gonna come down there, but I don't mind fighting against the forces of Bane because they're starting to feel that too. Killing their army in the pitched battle will convince them to get them out. Taking their capital is gonna make Genoa leave the war. I told you this year was gonna be the turning point year. But for whom? Again, another battle up here. British Alaska is led by an American. But they did take a piece of French territory. But it's not going to convince... Well, actually... Yeah, the military strength isn't what they used to be. They've lost a few territories. And this war now spilled into Central America. Down in... what region is that? Mexico and Central America. Down in the Guatemala area. Chiapas and Guatemala area. It's where it's spilled to now. Keep them boxed in by these combined forces of British, no matter how they kill you. But as long as you kill French forces out there, you will drain its manpower. They're not going to have it like they used to. I think the British may have given us indirect contribution to a final victory for likely next year. So we need 25 more days. Oh, by the way, you have a shipyard? Yes, thank you. Because these transports need repairs badly. Well, meanwhile, focus on here. I'm gonna make them go that way. Although we'll catch them, but no, wait 2 days. Just be patient, dang it. What you need to do is go that way. You can kill them there. It's not enough. They're not coming back. Well, I guess Egypt's ours, and so is the canal. The canal to be built in future. It's being assisted by Mongolia. But we need, after Genoa's out, we need to go help them and defeat the Bane forces early next year. Don't let Trevisto fall. Don't let Venice fall. Tell them that we still have your back. And if you don't, then we have no reason to be in Europe anymore. That's because of wartime circumstance more than anything else. I see. After 17 days, then to Excandria, Alexandria. To Crete. To Sinjar. Stop. This way. Does it really matter if you take a river crossing? Yes, it does. Oh, big battle approaching. Oh, hell, that's gonna make Venice leave the war when they lose that battle. You know, we should have waited for our help. Take it to Tabuk. Another Highland territory. Now go take the Delta. I fear them transferring here could lead to something more sinister. The full commitment to the defeat of Venice. That's what they're doing. Come on, surrender. They have. Good. War score is medium. It's going our way this time. Pillage. Usual. Alright, now let's go save their tail. And Genoa was the previous occupier, so they got their lands back. So, they're back in action. Alright. The fleet has to depart. To keep an eye on them. And also go kick them out to get that port back and all. And after we make repairs, then... And then, well, actually, them first. They're on the hills. Scare them off. Now they're on the move again. The French army out there. That's a Saxon army. They're just taking the area. They're throwing their reinforcements out there and they withdrew. Venice war enthusiasm remains low, but just don't give up hope, alright? They've occupied some of the areas, but we're gonna kill your enemies. About to get revenge on them. Oh my god, the French are here. Hold here. Crossing's the best place to defend. Killed off the Saxon forces. No, they're not coming here. Mantova. They are coming here. We have the numbers. They're taking a river crossing and this is their best general. Versus our best general. Who knows how to use fire land damage very well. But it'll keep the other reinforcements at bay. When is the French army arriving? Plus possible additional reinforcements? 26, 2 days. They're not going that way, so... River crossing penalty for them. We are surrounded. They have the highest morale. Which one's the most drilled army of the bunch? This one. Come on. Last battle for this episode. We don't have the morale. Damn it, we're surrounded by enemies from all sides. We'll make a stand here. When it's fire, that's when we'll be our best, and so are they. He's master of arms. Got a bad dice roll. Did good on shock. Dice roll, but he's got fire. They're throwing their lot at us. Throwing more at us. I think it's too late for Venice to help us now. No, our morale's not going to defeat theirs. They're not helping us. We should kill a few more while we're at it. Bleed the French manpower dry. It's the best way to guarantee their defeat eventually. One more day. Okay. Withdrawal now. All armies withdraw. Horrific losses. First major battle in a long time. If only we fought on the high ground, we would have stood a better chance. Oh, God. All zone. Sinjar. They haven't left. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will conclude the episode on that note. 1803 is going to be the year. We will head to Constantinople. The war is going our way. Perhaps not for Venice, but we'll try to recover. We'll try to bounce back one more time before we decide to transport them out of here. And then we'll try to fight again. I mean, we defeated the Saxon forces. We thought it would get them out of the war, but clearly it didn't. So, it was a year of turning points. So we knocked out two big contributors of manpower for the European front. Well, we've been bested by the French and they threw their lot at us. All their forces. So we couldn't dislodge them. Our best guarantee to remain our presence is to defend Trevestal and Alta Carenzia. And also soon our fleet will be back in action, which they will. In fact, they're back in the Aegean. So in the next episode, we will go sink their fleet one more time and defeat their fleet in Marmara. And then our army will begin to cross, take Constantinople, and end this bloody war. There'll be no objections to this. And we hope you people will join us in the next episode. But until then, so long for now.